The White House was caught doing exactly what Russia wanted them to do. This is from Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, who is pushing Russia talking points and was caught red-handed. Now, the White House was also caught sharing a manipulated piece of video that helped make them look less aligned with Russia. But we have the original video and the video they were caught editing. And before we get all to that, I want to just point out that this man, Mike Collins, is running for Georgia Senate. He's a Republican. I'm going to show you a little bit of this ad. It is terrible, so we're not going to show all of it, just a little bit. It feels like a parody.
In trucking, you gotta deliver. I'm Mike Collins, and that's why we drove home Trump's big, beautiful bill. We killed woke DEI garbage and banned boys from playing girls' sports.
It feels like a South Park commercial. I'm sorry. It feels like a South Park scene. This guy is an idiot. His team, Mike Collins' War Room, which, by the way, tweeted at me today, and they said this to me, which, by the way, his War Room account, I said Mike Collins looked like male Marjorie Taylor Greene, but his War Room account said to me, they said that I'm an R word. Second one of the day. It's the second R word they found. Well, if I'm an R word, what does this make you that your campaign that is running to represent Georgia in the Senate can't even spell Georgia? Yeah. Also, Mike Collins is a bad guy. He's just a bad guy. I don't know if you remember this from a year ago, this racist moment. All of these white college students were mocking this black lady, and one, you'll see in the corner here, actually acted out as a gorilla. Yeah, not great. Rep. Mike Collins said, Ole Miss taking care of business. So he's also a racist. And I just got to say that Jon Ossoff, if this guy wins the primary, Jon Ossoff, we have to give everything we can to make sure Jon Ossoff remains in the Senate. Now, I also want to point out that this video came out where Stephen Miller, by the way, who I guess is small, or Laura Trump is an Amazonian. Regardless, Stephen Miller said this about Donald Trump's love for children.
He's actually great with kids. He's like a kid magnet.
Yes.
When kids are around, they want to be around President Trump.
He's a child whisperer. The kids love President Trump. President Trump loves children.
Ooh, with everything going on, I don't know if I would say that. Now, like I said at the top, we have evidence of Donald Trump, one, pushing Russian talking points through his White House, and two, deceptively editing video to make it look like he's not being helped by Russia. Here we go.
Tonight, that the White House video of this exchange has also skillfully cut out that question from the Reuters reporter as if it didn't happen. So I'll show you them back to back here. I'll show you the real one first, and then I'll show you what the White House has posted online instead. Here first is the real one.
Options abound, and they all can be found in an
President
appropriate
Putin, did you want President
framework.
Trump to win the election, and did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
That's the real one. Now watch what the White House has posted online instead.
Options abound, and they all can be found in an appropriate legal framework.
And did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
They just dropped it out. First part of his question, President Putin, did you want President Trump to win the election? They just dropped that out. What the White House has disappeared from the official U.S. government record of that meeting, both in print and in their video of the meeting, is President Putin answering in the affirmative when he's asked if he wanted Trump to win the election.
It's interesting. I just gotta wonder why the White House and Donald Trump would want to just completely cut out that question. I guess there's no there. I'm sure it's like all up on the up and up. Now, Tulsi Gabbard was also coincidentally caught pushing Russian talking points to help Trump. Isn't it? I mean, it's just interesting how all these things are interconnected. The National Intelligence Director parroted the conclusions of Russian spies. She parroted the conclusion of Russian spies. The Director of National Intelligence at a White House press briefing Wednesday, saying that Moscow had seen evidence of Clinton's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness. But what Gabbard didn't seem to remember was that those same documents were reviewed and debunked by the FBI years ago, as pointed out Thursday by independent journalist Marcy Wheeler. The FBI analysis finds that much of the Russian intelligence the Bureau looked at was objectively false. They never found the stolen documents on which the Russians' conclusions were based. The 2018 report even says that it's not clear if such communications in fact existed. So, Tulsi Gabbard, our Director of National Intelligence, is pushing a Russia lie in order to help the president. It seems very much like an echo of 2016. Russia, are you listening? And now they're saying, Russia, we hear you. Goes on to say, in Wednesday's press conference, Gabbard quoted a different report from 2020, one conducted by the Republican-led House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence that analyzed in part the DOJ's 2018 report to assess the manufactured Russia hoax. Now remember, Tulsi Gabbard ran for president in 2019-2020. She ended up not winning, thank God, but she did run ads. And wouldn't you know it, the ads that she was running at the time said that Russia was responsible for hacking our elections. And two, she quoted Barack Obama, who she's now accusing of trying to overthrow the election. Watch this. You won't believe it.
Multiple systematic efforts to interfere in our election.
We don't have a secure election system in this country. We shouldn't pretend that we do.
The Russians were responsible for hacking.
We know they interfere with our elections.
Cyber attacks against voting infrastructure, along with computer intrusions.
And still, there's been no legislation passed. Congress refuses to take action, which begs the question, are they more interested in just talk or actually solving the problem?
The real threat to our democracy that we're facing right now is the vulnerabilities that exist within our elections infrastructure.
Hackers were able to penetrate a touchscreen voting machine in less than 2 hours.
I've introduced legislation called the Securing America's Elections Act. Very simply, my bill says that every single state will have paper ballots or a voter-verified paper backup.
To make sure that if anyone, whether it's a bad actor, an individual, or a country, comes in and tries to manipulate our votes,
100% we have an auditable paper trail.
Russia is continuing its attempts to meddle in U.S. elections.
But now that same Director of National Intelligence is saying that was a hoax. And what really happened was Obama was trying to overthrow the election of Donald Trump. It makes no sense. Honestly, the pretzel you have to tie yourself into to make this all make sense is just insane. It doesn't, I mean, I'm telling you all this stuff, and it almost doesn't even make sense to me what they're trying to say. But we all know what this is really about. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, and he will say and do anything, including parroting or working with Russia in order to take the heat off of him. So that's why I want you to leave a comment at the end, Gerald. That's how I'll know you made it to the end. Let's say Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Just leave that comment and I'll know you made it to the end. And if you like this video, hit like on the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.